and welcome back to Under Review. It has been some time since we have broken down UConn women's basketball, but we're going to get into the entire season today and look forward to what's ahead. Until then, welcome back to Under Review. I'm Mahn.
And I'm Inesta.
First off, a big congratulations to UConn men's basketball getting their 5th national championship, really just proving this place is the basketball capital of the world. But now we're going to get into a little bit of UConn women's basketball, and we're going to talk about that fall in the Sweet 16 to Ohio State. Kind of taken a lot of time to process. It was a shocker to me. What were your thoughts after that game?
I really don't think that game was a representation of the entire season. Yes, we broke some streaks, and it was not the way we wanted to see them go, but I just think that game was it just wasn't a good game for us. We really did not play. The turnovers were crazy. It just wasn't a good game for us at all. We did not play well at all, and it just happened to be the Sweet 16, which means you win or you go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really that press that got us. We knew Ohio State was going to come out pressing, but they did such a good job of it, and that's what caused so many turnovers. And I think it just got so late in the game that I think a lot of them were panicking because they had to come back. And then you had Aaliyah in foul trouble, Lou falling twice. It was just like a lot to adjust to. And I just knew it wasn't a good representation of what our team was. We saw Stanford fall in the round before. It kind of just happens to some teams that are really good. And because it's March, you win or you go home. So it was unfortunate to see, but I don't think it represented UConn women's basketball at all. What were your thoughts of March Madness overall, the Iowa-LSU game? Honestly, one of the most entertaining basketball games I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think the Final Four was a really good push for women's basketball. I think it brought a lot of attention to everyone. Even the Final Four game, I love that South Carolina-Iowa game. I would have loved to see Iowa win it all, but LSU, they're also incredible, and that weekend of women's basketball was just insane with Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston. I really thought we got what we deserved when it came to the March Madness tournament for women's, and I think it was a good thing to watch.
Yeah, it was a really good game. Iowa beating South Carolina, they're just two completely different teams. And that was honestly such an entertaining game to watch, and it really proves that anyone can go down at any time in March Madness. And I think even if UConn did advance, I don't know how far they would have went. It would have been a challenge any game. I think that UConn has the potential to win a national championship, but at the same time, so many teams were so good. Virginia Tech, Louisville, LSU, a lot of people came out and proved they were stars. And it really makes me excited for next season because we have Caitlin Clark coming back, we have Angel Reese coming back, and we have Paige Beckers coming back. So I'm excited to see her prove herself because I know that a lot of people are getting hyped up on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, as they should because they're amazing players, but I want Paige to get her name back in that conversation because she really is a generational player. With this season, we obviously lose two really, really amazing seniors, Lou Lopez Seneschal and Dorka Juhas, both getting drafted this year in the WNBA. Lou with the number 5 pick to the Dallas Wings, and then Dorka number 16 to Minnesota Lynx. What were your thoughts on the picks and kind of their futures?
I think it's totally incredible. Lou's story and how she came to Fairfield, got that once-in-a-lifetime chance with UConn for 1 year, and now is the number 5 draft pick. I think it's truly amazing what she was able to do in just 1 year and how much she brought herself to being really not a known name at all to being the number 5 pick. Honestly, with Dorka, I was a little bit surprised that she got drafted as late as she did. Not that that's late at all. I think she's a great player and deserves to be where she is. But definitely a little bit surprised about her draft pick, but I'm still very happy for her.
Yeah, I think you brought up a really good point with Lou's story. It's honestly incredible. I know that Lou even said herself that she never actually pictured, like, growing up, that she could come play overseas, and then she heard about it from a couple of her other teammates, and then she's like, maybe I have a real chance. And she's worked so hard to get where she is, and she's such a person that has proved if you step up to the opportunity, you'll be presented one, because she took this year and made so much out of it, and that's how she became a number 5 WNBA draft pick. I think her and Dorka are players that would succeed a lot in the WNBA, and I'm really excited to see their futures and hopefully to see them play sometime soon. With losing them, we gain a couple people. Jana finally gets to play on the court. Then we have KK Arnold, Candace Samuels, and Ashlyn Shade. What are your thoughts on what's coming in and kind of the strengths that they could bring?
Yeah, despite losing Lou and Dorga, which is super hard for the program, I think they brought a lot to the program and really connected with the fans. That's a big thing that the Huskies are kind of known for. But we do gain a lot, which is kind of what is exciting about Gino Auriemma and how he builds UConn. We have a lot coming in with size and a lot of different abilities. I think Jana is going to be really special, especially since she got the time with the team this year, got to experience the loss of losing the Sweet 16. So I think that puts something in her head about, okay, we don't want this to happen again. She's got 4 years under her belt here at UConn, and I think it's going to be really special what this new class is going to bring in.
I completely agree. I also think Jana's got the height, but we have a lot of guards coming in, and especially if Paige is coming back and AZ, and you have Ice in the mix too. I would like, if he was to pick up a transfer, that they would be larger in size. I think just having someone that's played at a college before, is experienced at the post, could help a lot, because Aaliyah and Dorka were such a duo, and Aaliyah has really come up to the occasion this season. But right now on the front, we have like Aaliyah, Amari, and then Ayana, and I think just adding someone else into that mix, especially with how like Cardoso and Boston presented us issues this season, I would like to see a bigger person down low. But I'm really excited for especially KK Arnold, honestly all of them, but I just think they've really shown out this high school season, and I'm already hearing a lot about them, so I think they could definitely do some cool things this year. We have a lot of exciting games next season. Coach Auriemma always tries to schedule a game for every senior to either visit somewhere near their home or something to do with their home. So we have Paige Beckers traveling to Minnesota. He has Ball State coming here so Nika Mule can play her sister. And I know he's trying to get a Canada game in the works, but that is quite tricky. Then we have going to NC State, going to South Carolina, playing in the Cayman Islands, playing against UNC at Mohegan Sun. So many good games coming up. Which one do you think you're most excited for?
Wow, that's a hard question. I definitely, especially since it's here in stores, travel is another thing, but here in stores, I think that Ball State game is going to be super exciting, especially since Nika Mule has been very vocal and she has posted a lot about her sister playing for Ball State, especially being a freshman. I think it's very cool that she's going to be a sophomore, so she's got a year under her belt, and I really am really excited for that sister rivalry, because we all know the Mules are very hard-headed, and the refs might have to be a little bit more on deck for that game.
They might get a technical against each other. I honestly think the Cayman Islands will be interesting. Having that early playing tournament, they'll be able to prove themselves immediately, regardless of how the season ended last year. I know they're going to want to come out really strong, and I think that's a good place to do it. I know LSU is there, but I think they're splitting it into 2 separate brackets, so I don't know if they'll play against them, but regardless, it's going to be good competition, and it's a really good opportunity to prove where they're at next season, especially because we have such a good recruiting class and other teams are losing a lot of key players, and as much as we're losing Lou and Dorka, we have a lot coming back, so I think we could really assert our dominance early in the season. Obviously, it's been a roller coaster of a year. We said last year was a roller coaster of a year, but if you told me in the beginning of this year that Paige Beckers would be out, we'd be getting a Nash, all of the injury struggles, Caroline Ducharme in and out with the concussion, AZ Fudd out for a good amount of time, any of the things that have happened, I wouldn't have believed you, but I think it built a lot about the team. So what do you think is the main takeaway from this season going into next season?
Yes, I think this UConn team is known for the injuries and known for all the adversity that they face, but they also did an incredible amount for what they had. They still had one of the best records in college basketball. They still made it all the way to Sweet 16. We always say that, we haven't won since 2016. That's a big drought. Other schools are not like that. This is UConn. Other schools haven't won a national championship. So as much as we are in a drought, I still think this team is very special, especially for incoming years. Every single year, UConn is at the top. So I just think the overall takeaway is that even though we do face some challenges, we're still UConn, and they still have the chance to do whatever they can set their mind to.
I think there's a lot to take away from how calm you see Coach Auriemma after that Ohio State loss. A lot of people are thinking this is the end of the world for UConn. They fell in the Sweet 16, breaking a record of a billion years. But I think there's a lot to take away from his calmness because, I don't know, everyone expects to fail once, but you don't expect to fail twice or 3 times or 4 times. And they just expect UConn to be at the top. And Gino said himself, like, everyone, when you're winning all the time, everyone thinks it's easy. And I think that, honestly, the team has proven how resilient they can be. And they're learning so much through these losses, these wins, these, like, turbulent seasons. So the success will be so much greater and feel so much greater to them when they can pull away with a national championship. But I think there's a lot of success in this season. And I know it ended on a bad mark, but so many players improved that might have not gotten the chance to because of injury. So many people stepped up. And I think just his calmness alone shows that they are going to come back so much stronger and that this really isn't the end for UConn basketball, but really only the beginning. And Paige Becker's going into her senior year. AZ Fudd, now an upperclassman. There's so many good things coming into next season that is to be excited for. So I think it's going to be a good year. And to all the UConn doubters, I switch your mindset quickly because they're going to prove you wrong. That's a wrap on the 22-23 season. I want to thank you all for watching this show. 2 years ago, me and Taya thought of making a women's basketball show for UConn, and then we crafted up the most iconic trap beat over the UConn band song, and it's kind of just history from there. I want to shout out Grant Mengel, the OG host of this show. We wouldn't be here without you. And then I especially want to shout out Taya Gonsalves. You never see her on the camera, but she has edited every single one of these shows and had to listen to me talk for hours and hours and hours on end, as she is right now. So this show would quite literally be nothing without her, and it is just as much hers as it is mine. It really has been an honor hosting this the past 2 years, and I'm going to miss it a lot, but I know it's going into great hands. We have Inesta right here, and she's just a freshman. Can you believe that? But she has such a bright future ahead of her, and I'm very confident this show will be great. And then lastly, I just want to thank UConn women's basketball for a fantastic 2 years. It was quite a roller coaster, but I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. So for the last time, this has been Under Review. I thank you so much for watching. I'm Mahn.
And I'm Inesta.
Bye. Forever.